When your soul starts to speak to you, it does so not with the gentle whispers of a caring guardian but with the blunt honesty of a truth teller who cares more for your growth than your comfort. The soul has no need to sugarcoat its messages because it knows that what it has to say is vital for your evolution, for your liberation from the chains of delusion, and for your journey toward a life that is authentically your own. These brutal truths may strike you like a cold wind shocking your senses, but they are meant to wake you up from the dreamlike state in which you have been living, a state where illusions and distractions have kept you bound, where the superficial has taken precedence over the profound, and where the life you led is not truly your own but a mere shadow of what it could be if only you dared to face the truth head on. One of the first truths you will uncover is that much of what you thought was important is not. You have spent years, perhaps even decades, chasing goals and ambitions that were never truly yours. They were imposed on you by society, by family, by a culture that values productivity over peace, success over satisfaction, and appearance over authenticity. You've been living a life dictated by external expectations, striving to meet standards that deep down you know do not resonate with your inner self. But when your soul starts speaking, it shatters this illusion, revealing that the life you have been living is not one of true fulfillment but of conformity. You realize that you have been climbing a ladder that is leaning against the wrong wall, and with this realization comes a profound sense of loss. Yet this loss is necessary because it clears the way for something far more meaningful, the opportunity to live a life aligned with your deepest values and desires. As this truth settles in, you begin to see how you have allowed fear to govern your decisions. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. These have all held you back from pursuing what you truly want. Your soul, however, does not recognize these fears as legitimate barriers. It sees them for what they are: phantoms created by the mind to keep you safe but ultimately keep you small. When your soul speaks, it urges you to face these fears, to walk through them rather than around them. It tells you that the only way to achieve true freedom is to confront what scares you most, not to conquer it in a traditional sense, but to understand it, to embrace it, and to let it guide you to your true path. And as you do, you begin to understand that fear is not the enemy, but pointing you toward the areas of your life where growth is most needed. With this newfound courage, you start to reassess your relationships, realizing that many of them were formed not out of genuine connection but out of convenience, habit, or social obligation. Your soul reveals to you that true connection is rare, that it requires vulnerability, honesty, and a willingness to be seen for who you truly are, not for the mask you have worn to fit in. And this realization is painful because it means acknowledging that some of the people in your life may no longer belong there. They were part of an old narrative, one that you are now outgrowing. But letting go of these relationships is not about rejection, it is about making space for those who resonate with the new story you are beginning to write. It is about understanding that as you evolve, so too must the company you keep, and that true friends are those who support your growth, even if it means growing apart. In the quiet moments of reflection that follow, you may also discover that much of your suffering has been self-inflicted. The soul does not shy away from pointing out that the stories you tell yourself, the ones about being unworthy, unlovable, or not enough, are the very things that have kept you trapped in a cycle of pain. These stories are not truths but beliefs that you have accepted, often unconsciously, and they shape your reality. But your soul, in its wisdom, knows that you have the power to change these narratives. It challenges you to rewrite them, to tell yourself a different story, one that is rooted in love, compassion, and self-acceptance. This is not an easy task because it requires you to confront the parts of yourself that you have long buried, to shine a light on the shadows that have governed your actions and decisions. But as you do, you begin to see that the person you truly are is not defined by your past, by your mistakes, or by the opinions of others, but by the choices you make in each moment. As you continue this inner journey, another truth becomes clear: life is not something that happens to you, it is something you create. This realization is both Empowering and terrifying because it means taking full responsibility for your life, for the good and the bad, the joy and the sorrow. Your soul shows you that every thought, every action, every choice has contributed to the life you are living now, and if you want to change your life, you must start by changing yourself. This is not about striving for perfection, but about striving for authenticity, about aligning your outer life with your inner truth. It is about living in a way that is true to who you are, not who you think you should be or who others want you to be. This path is not without its challenges. As you strip away the layers of illusion, you may feel vulnerable, exposed, and uncertain. You may question whether you are on the right path, whether you are making the right decisions, but your soul assures you that uncertainty is a natural part of the journey. It reminds you that growth often feels uncomfortable because it involves stepping into the unknown, into a space where there are no guarantees, no clear directions, and no easy answers. Yet it is in this space of uncertainty that true transformation occurs. It is here, in the midst of doubt and fear, that you find your strength, your resilience, and your true self. And as you walk this path, you start to see that life is not about avoiding pain, but about embracing it as part of the human experience. Your soul teaches you that pain is not something to be feared or resisted, but something to be felt, understood, and learned from. It shows you that every painful experience carries with it a lesson, a gift, an opportunity for growth. And while this may sound cliché, it is a truth that you come to know on a deep, visceral level. You realize that the wounds you carry are not marks of weakness, but of strength, that they are reminders of the battles you have fought and the resilience you have cultivated. And as you heal these wounds, you become more compassionate, more empathetic, more connected to the suffering of others. This compassion extends not just to others, but to yourself. As your soul speaks, it encourages you to be kinder to yourself, to forgive yourself for the mistakes you have made, for the times you have fallen short of your own expectations. It tells you that you are not defined by your failures, but by how you rise from them. It reminds you that self-love is not about indulging in selfish desires, but about nurturing your own well-being, about treating yourself with the same care and kindness that you would offer to a loved one. And as you cultivate this self-love, you find that it radiates outward, affecting every aspect of your life, from your relationships to your work to your sense of purpose. Yes, purpose is another truth that your soul reveals to you. It shows you that your purpose is not something that can be found outside of yourself, in a job, a title, or a role, but something that is discovered within. Your purpose is not about what you do, but about who you are. It is about living in alignment with your values, about contributing to the world in a way that is meaningful to you, about making a difference, no matter how small, in the lives of others. And this purpose does not have to be grand or heroic. It can be as simple as being kind, as showing up with integrity, as living with intention. Your soul reminds you that purpose is not a destination, but a journey, one that unfolds as you continue to listen to its guidance, to trust its wisdom, and to follow its lead. In the end, the truths your soul speaks to you are not meant to break you, but to build you, not to diminish you, but to elevate you. They are reminders of who you truly are, of the power you hold, of the potential that lies within you. And as you embrace these truths, as you integrate them into your life, you begin to see that the soul does not speak in riddles or mysteries, but in a language that is simple, direct, and profound. It speaks the language of truth, a truth that, when heard and understood, has the power to transform your life in ways you never thought possible. So listen to your soul, not with fear or resistance, but with openness and curiosity, and allow its truth to guide you to the life you were always meant to live. I hope you enjoyed watching my video. If you're still with me, please leave a comment on what you learned or what you would like to add. I would appreciate it. As always, wishing you a beautiful day. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, beautiful souls.